Hello there boys and girls, and welcome back to this brand new video. My name is Phil, and in this tutorial we're going to create a cool reaction game only using pure vanilla JavaScript, no library or anything like that. We're going to create a reaction game where we can test our time to click on an object, and where we can test how long it takes for us to click on a specific field on the screen after the color has changed. So we can just test our reaction inside that JavaScript app, just a little reaction time, easy to do, only using pure JavaScript. By the way, you can go to the description of this video and you can find a link where you can see the live preview of the reaction game, so you can test it for yourself. Feel free to add a cool comment inside this video to show and share your time you need. Have fun watching the video right now, and let's go creating this reaction app. Alright, so first things first, we have three files here. We have the index.html here, and all inside that we included the styles.css and the main.js. Of course, all the magic happens here inside the main.js. We're gonna code inside this file. I already included the styles here because I think this is not a styling CSS tutorial. It's just some basic CSS styles, nothing special here. And because it's not a styling tutorial, I'm gonna not code the CSS inside here. And I'm gonna start with the classes, for example, with the header and navigation classes. So we're just gonna start inside the index.html, and on the right side here you can see the preview. So if I write something inside and save that, you will automatically see the changes here. Alright, so let's begin right now. First things first, we're just going to create a div container with the class of main, and inside another div container with the class of header. And inside there we're going to write an h1, a headline, and we, for example, can write in reaction time game. And actually, as you can see, because we use the class of main and header, it already got styled here. Pretty awesome. So underneath that, we're just going to create a new div container, and we're going to give it the class of navigation. And inside the navigation, another headline 2. And here we can just write and check out your reaction time. And under that, we're just going to create a class, a p container with the class of information. And also here we just can write some information to the user to give some instructions or something like that. We just can write something like click the area after the color changed to green, and we're can take that green and can write it, for example, inside a span tag. And then actually, as you can see here, we got a little instruction, and after that, we're just going to create a div container, and this div container is get the class of canvas minus parent, because inside that container we're going to create a canvas, and the canvas just got an ID to use it in the JavaScript later of canvas. So we are close to be ready. At least we need to show the score, the time in the end. So we need another div container with the class of score, and inside that we write two containers, one with the class of section -1 and another one with the class of section -2. Inside section -1 we just gonna create a button, and we're just gonna say the ID is equal to start, so we can actually start the game. And we're gonna write it inside start game. We just can also write here type is equal to button to get the correct HTML, and we're gonna copy now actually we don't need a stop button, we just need another p container, and here we can just write your time, and underneath that we're just gonna write in the actually no time, because in the start we have no time. We just got a time if we start the game, and here we just can give it an ID to change it in the JavaScript later, time text. Alright, I think this is our basic HTML construction for creating this reaction time game. We don't need to do something in the CSS, we just got little body styles and the styles that you already see on the right side here. So we're just gonna dive right into the magic here inside the main.js. We're only using pure JavaScript, no jQuery, no library, anything like that. Alright, so let's begin. We're just gonna take the canvas in the beginning. So we're just gonna say document.getElementById, and if you remember, we give it the ID of canvas here inside, the ID of canvas. So we can take this container, and in the beginning we should always declare the context of the canvas, which is equal to canvas dot get. I have some uppercase here. Canvas dot get context, and which is actually 2D. And also we just can say we need the parent container of the canvas, so we just can say document dot query selector all, or just query selector actually, which is better. And we just take the class of canvas minus parent. And what you have to know here is that the, let's check here, the parent container of the canvas just has the color of yellow here. So if we're going to change that to red, it takes a red color. So we're going to change this color of the parent here later to declare the game and the start of the game, of course. So we need some more variables. So we just can say that the parent height is equal to canvas parent dot client height. And we also take the client width for the as the parameter for parent width. And now we can declare the canvas height to make it like more dynamically. Just we can say canvas dot height is equal to parent height, and the same for the width. So parent canvas dot width is equal to parent width. All right, so far so good. We're just gonna declare now some more styling stuff. So we just can say that context dot, I don't know, text align is equal to center, just for some styling reason, and context dot baseline is equal to middle, in case we're going to use that, but I don't think we're going to use that. And yeah, actually we just can write in something like click in this area or something like that in the middle of the field if the field got green or something like that. So we just can say context dot fill text, and here we just can write the text. So click in this area, and we're just gonna create the x and y position of that text to x.height divided by 2, canvas.height divided by 2, and canvas.width divided by 2. So later we're gonna fill the text, I think, with that text here. All right, so I think now we have declared some canvas stuff here. The canvas is now as big and height like the canvas parent in yellow here. And I think we just can start with the game, actually start with some variables and start creating the game mechanics. So we're just gonna declare the, actually we take the ID of start here in the button, the start button. So we're just gonna call it start is equal to document.getElement by ID. And here we just declare the ID of start. And also we're just gonna say that the, if you remember, we gave the ID of time text to that field. So we just gonna say time text is equal to document.getElement by ID time minus text. And now we just can declare some game status. And for example, we're gonna use a JavaScript object in case of a JavaScript dictionary here. So we just can say that the let game status is equal to stop, for example 1, and start as 2, for example. All right, so now we just can declare that the status is equal to game status.stop. And yeah, we're gonna work with some timers here. So first things first, we're just gonna create the add event listener for the start button to actually start the game. So we just can declare the add event listener of click, and here we're just gonna call a function. What we're gonna do after the click, and we're just gonna say that if the status is equal to game status dot start, for example, you can begin with whatever you want. We just can create a function which ends the game. We're gonna use that function here, and otherwise we're just gonna start the game also as a function. We're gonna create that function later, and we can say that this dot inner HTML is equal to stop game. So actually I'm just going to create that two function here right now. So function, we got function end game, and we just got the function of start game. So nothing will happen inside here. So if we click on the, I'm gonna open the console here. Nothing will happen in the console, but I'm just gonna open it. If we click on the start game, the text changed to stop game, and actually the start game function is called. So we just can say, for example, console.log started game, and we're gonna refresh that, and now you can see started game. Of course, it always starts the game because we never change the status to stop, so it's to start, so it's always on stop, and we always call that case here in the if else loop. All right, so first things first, we start the game. So we just create a function here, and I'm going to take out that log. And what we need to do first is we need to get a time when the field should be clickable. And of course, it's not a good idea to take always the same time of seconds, because player will know that and they will be prepared to click, for example, after 4 seconds. So it's more like to get random time to make the field clickable. And for that, we're just gonna say that the change time, for example, to change the field to make it clickable is equal to, and we're gonna create a function to get a random number or random time up to, for example, 8 seconds. So of course we need to create that function as well, and we can declare that function pretty simple with JavaScript to get the random time. So all we need to do here is to say, yeah, we can call that the max value here. So all we need to say is result is equal to math.floor. So we're just gonna floor that. We're gonna take with math.random a random number between 0 and 1, but not 1. So the highest number could be 0.99999 and so on. And we're just gonna multiply that with math.floor of the max value. And here we're just gonna say, for example, I don't know, what is the smallest time? 1 maybe? I don't know. And after that, we're just gonna say result is equal to result multiplied with 1000. So we got the milliseconds. That's what we call the function get random time, not get random number. And after that, we're just gonna return the result. But before, we're just gonna log the result to see what we get. Here we go. Start the time. All right, we got an error here. I don't know what we did wrong. Let me check it out. Of course, we need to call this as a function here. And now we just got 8, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3, 6. Yeah, actually, as you can see, we got a random time between 1 and 8 seconds. Yeah, we can also put in here something like a min value and put that min value here and call this with a min value. So for example, 1 and 8. That's also possible. And yeah, now we get a random time between 1 second and 8 seconds. So back to our start game function. So we also need the end time where we can say, okay, you failed the game. You have only a specific time to click on that field. So we're just gonna call it end time. And this is equal to the change time plus 5 seconds. So we're gonna use milliseconds, so plus 5 seconds multiplied with 1000. All right, so, and also we're just gonna change the status to game status.start to declare the status as start. And we're just gonna style the canvas.style.background is equal to, and here we're just gonna take a string, and this is a RGB, for example, this color. So this color means it will be red to say, okay, don't click it now. And only if the field gets green, we're gonna click it. So we have to wait until the field gets green, and this happens after this change time we declared. So we need here a timeout function, And yeah, we're just gonna, because we need 2 timeouts, we're gonna call that timeout function 1. So, and a second function for timeout function 2. And with that first timeout function, we're gonna change the, we're gonna end the game. So we're gonna say you didn't click the field in the right time, you lose the game. And with the other function, we just gonna start to change the red to the green and to make it clickable. So we know now we can click it. So first things first, we need to say in the first timeout function we need a change time, and in the second timeout function we need the not end game, end time. Okay, the timeout function 1 we're gonna start with. We're gonna copy that. Start game, timeout function 1. Here we go. So what we need is actually we need to clear a timeout. So we're gonna say set timeout, and actually this is the callback function, and here we got the time, which is the time we get from as an argument, and inside here the magic happens. So this function is to make the field from red to green. So what we need to do is we need to say canvas.style.background is equal to RGB in green. So green value is, for example, something like that. And this happens after that time. So if we start the game now, or I see timeout function 2 is not defined, so let me check that out. If I start a time and I do nothing, the field will change to green after a random time. So also we need to check the time now. So how can we get the time after we click the field to get our value in our time for the reaction? So what we're going to do here is we're just going to create a new date, and this is actually called just by a new object of date. Basically in JavaScript you can use that, and also you can just say time now is equal to date1 dot get time, which is actually, I'm gonna log that out, time now. I'm gonna start the game, and if it changes to green, we just get the time in the console. It's a timestamp, I think. Let me check it out. Yeah, it's a timestamp of the current time. And now we need to add an event listener after the timer got started to the canvas. So we just can say function, and inside here we're just going to do some more stuff. We're just going to create let date2 is equal to new date. So this date will be generated if we click in the canvas. It's date2, and we're just going to declare the difference between date1 and date2, which is date time later, for example, is equal to date2 dot get time. And now we can declare the play time, which is equal to time later minus time now. So actually the time later is the time we click, and the time now is the time we started to green. And then we just got our playtime, and we can declare that inside the text of this HTML field. So we're just gonna say time text, which we got here, time, where is it, time text here. We just can say time text dot inner HTML is equal to playtime. Of course, maybe a string with plus dot milliseconds. All right, so I'm just gonna take some time now to wait if it's green. If you click now, nothing will happen. You see nothing will happen. And now if we click, you see we got a playtime of around 800 milliseconds. Great. All right, now of course we need to stop the game. That's all we need for this timeout function 1. But as I told you already, we need another timeout function here. So we're just gonna copy that and declare that here. And this is timeout function 2, also with a time inside. And this is just a small function. So this is just another timeout is equal to set timeout, and inside here also a callback function. And we're just gonna declare the timeout for the time here we got as an argument. And what we just need here is we just need to call the function end game. That's all we need here. So the game will be ended in the end time, which is the start time plus 5 seconds. We're gonna log out in the end game here right now. Game has ended. And now if I start the game and if I wait for the green field here and I do not click in the field after 5 seconds, you will see in the console the game will be ended without doing something. Yeah, game has ended. And now of course we need to do some stuff here to end the game. And that's basically one of the last things we're gonna do. We're just gonna say that we clear the timeouts for timeout 2 and timeout 1 to stop the timeouts here. And also we're just gonna say canvas.style.background is equal to, and now we just go back to our basic yellow here I have to make it back to yellow. Also we're gonna say that started in HTML is equal to start game again. And also we just can say that status is equal to game status dot stop. That's very important, otherwise we cannot restart the game. And now we just can start the game as often as we want. And of course we need to stop the game after clicking inside the canvas. So I'm going to show you if I click on the green field. You see that the game is still running, but we got our time, so we need to stop the field after clicking inside the canvas. So we also got an event listener here, just gonna copy that here, but this time not for the start, so for the canvas, add event listener of click, and we're just gonna call the end game function, and we are done for the video. And now if we restart the game, if we restart the page, we just can start the game and get a really good time here. So let's check out what we get. So we got 254 milliseconds. I think that's a pretty good time. And of course we got here a cool mechanism which takes the green field at a random time, so it can happen after 1 second. It can also happen after 8 seconds to get the field green, to click it, and that's pretty awesome. So maybe we got a really small time. Yeah, we got a smaller time here to change the field to green. And also you can get a really good time here. Try to beat my 250 milliseconds. Write it down in the comments. Go to the description to check out that game and to give me your time. By the way, to make this text click in this area inside the canvas, to make this visible, you need to change the canvas.height. You need to declare the canvas.width first, and after that the canvas.height. So if you save that, you can see the text now. Click in this area. Of course you can style this text more, and now you will see the game stops, by the way, if you click in the red area and you click on the wrong time, so the game will stop. You can only win the game by clicking the green area, and then the time will show down inside the field here. So let's check this again. Click in the green area and we got the time here right now. I hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more. I hope to see you in the next video. My name is Phil. Bye.